Jello, folks. Aaron here from My Turbo Reviews, and I'm changing things up today a little bit. Recently, I put on display my Transformer CYBERTRON collection, and one of the figures was requested as a review by Mega TF Man, and I wanted to get the review done, but I'm going to be moving soon, so I don't really have the time or the room to lay out my usual turbo review, so I'm going to do things a little casual today instead. Let me bring out the figure first. Here, this is Primus, or CYBERTRON Primus as he's called on his packaging. He's the god that created the Transformer race, and at least in some Transformers mythos, not all of them. And he changes into the planet CYBERTRON, and I think that's pretty neat. He's a much more successful planet former than Unicron was, because Unicron was a little bit more of a shell former than this guy is, and he also was more or less half a planet. This guy turns into a ball, as we'll see in a little bit. For articulation, he's got some very nice ratcheting joints all over the place. And listen to that click. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. He's got individual figure articulation, which you don't see nowadays very often. Not even on Masterpiece figures anymore, at least not all the time, which is kind of a shame. He's a little bit more blue than I would have liked to have seen in a robot that changes into the planet CYBERTRON, since CYBERTRON is primarily gray in color, but I'd rather have him than not. So let's get him transformed into his spiky death ball mode, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, now we have Primus in his spiky death ball mode, aka Planet CYBERTRON, and it's pretty successful. It's nice and round. I don't really remember CYBERTRON having all of these things sticking out of it, but it's not really a big deal. I mean, I understand it's supposed to be the CYBERTRON version of the planet and not G1, let's say. Still, it's got a few gaping holes here and there. You can almost see some robot parts. You can kind of make out his hands inside here. But overall, it's very successful. You can't really do too much with it, which is the one big downside. I've taken off the feet that come with him so that you can stand him on a flat surface. I didn't really think those were necessary. I've got them packed away just in case I want to ever put them back on, but yeah, so that's Primus. It's a very decent figure. I don't really know what it runs nowadays, say on eBay or any other internet site where you might be able to get it, but if you don't have one and you can find one that's relatively cheap in your opinion, then I say go for it. This has been Aaron from My Turbo Reviews, signing out.